Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to this Emerging Valley main stage, and we'll be talking about education and Edutech for Africa. And what are we doing with two twin cities that will be crossing with Abidjan and Marseille? Who's right with us from Ivory Coast. I would ask a warm round of applause for Amir and Mr. Anil BENARD-DENDE, who is the Deputy General Director of the Kedge Business School. Warm welcome. So when we speak of this, fireside chat, it's very cool and relaxed and spontaneous. When we talk about Abidjan, this business and African entrepreneurship, we know that it's one of the French tech capitals of the continent that opened a business center last autumn in Abidjan, and that was announced by Mr. Adam, the present minister. And so we're talking about Abidjan it has created a buzz. And so today, what can you say about the Ivory Coast tech system and universe? Yes, thank you very much, Sami. Thank you so much for having given me this opportunity to be present. I'm not going to share macroeconomic statistics or, projects and political projects, etc. But what I can say is that, as an ecosystem, there are three assets as entrepreneurs on the ground. Abidjan is the second biggest capital after Agos. And we have a good middle class that is developing and uses a lot of innovative products and digital products, and this is really a place to be for entrepreneurs. The second asset is it's true that the ecosystem was able to federate itself and pool together. And so this is where we see that the tech entrepreneurs have come together and created a structure, and they have the public that supports us. So there's incubators, accelerators that are all very well structured as well. So these are great facilitators. When we're talking about, that the share of experience and feedback is really the best nutrition that we could have as entrepreneurs. And also as the last asset is that our government is really open and they have direct contact with entrepreneurs, and so we attack sectors that are mostly under government responsibility, for example, and this this cooperation we have with the government facilitates a lot of things, and as challenges, it's capacity building. So we have to come, as we have to go to Ivory Coast, go out of the Ivory Coast and go to the international scene. Thank you very much, Amin. We can applaud Amin for his contribution. And now Dani, Abidjan, the Ivory Coast, that's becoming this hub. It's the next major hub of the West Coast, and also it's on the short list of Kedge, which is linked to Africa, and Kedge brings together a lot of African students, and of course it's in Dakar, and also, but you have aimed at the Ivory Coast. So what is the strategy? Well, we're just like a startup. We've opened up in Abidjan, and we're doing our second edition there. And so I understand what Amin is saying. It's really important because there's huge dynamics working there in Abidjan, and there's an industry there, and a lot of the layers of the economy are present there. And what's really important in the Kedge approach in this international development is that Kedge was created by the chambers of commerce to train managers and entrepreneurs to develop the various territories. And so they also work towards international, which is really specific with respect to our business school. And so there's Africa and Asia and Southeast Asia. And so we also try to train locally the executives and managers and entrepreneurs and to develop their respective territories. And so we are at BENARD-DENDE as of 2008, and we've been there for several years, and we're working 50-50 there on a long-term basis with BENARD-DENDE that has opened business in Abidjan more than a year ago. And so we are working on this, and it's strengthening this business activity. And also we do a lot of developing and guiding and supporting young people and entrepreneurs in their approach to the sector and creating the ecosystem, because what's important and what Amine has said, entrepreneurship doesn't happen all by itself. Everybody has to bring their stone and make it accelerate. And we are participating, and we're doing it in Dakar, and we'll be doing it in Abidjan. Yes, I think that in 2022, Marseille, Abidjan, it's going to be the year Marseille, Abidjan. And so it's one of the drivers of our ecosystem. So I would like you to warmly applaud them because for what the Kedge does for Africa as well. And I think it's going to be a good year, an excellent year for Abidjan, Marseille, as a matter, and the Kedge. And the minister has actually come to, why not come to the 2022 Emerging Valley session? And so we, will be seeing what Amine has said, who talked about the challenges and the opportunities and a lot of fundraising, a lot of success stories and unicorns, and the volumes of with respect to levers. We're ahead with respect to Egypt, Nigeria, Kenya, etc. And less than 7 million was raised by these partechs. How can we explain things if you look at countries like Senegal has gone well beyond that? And why is the Ivory Coast kind of cooled down with respect to that? Well, yes, that's what I shared in terms of a challenge, for example, and skills. The countries that you spoke of, the things that they have in common is the language. We know that the financial market is not necessarily in Africa, not even in Europe necessarily. We know that Nigeria, South Africa, Egypt, Kenya have done a lot of fundraising in the United States, and so entrepreneurs go there for capturing funds, and they go to the international markets. And so I think that this is being done more and more, and we're quite optimistic. So Amir, do you also share this optimism? And of course you wear several hats, but you are in investment and partech, and we really look to investment a lot as well. So do you think too that the Ivory Coast could become an epicenter for French-speaking Africa? Oh, well, I think a lot was said about the dynamics of this ecosystem. And this is part of the portfolio of Partech Africa, so it's a double success actually, but it's a long-term investment. And we need entrepreneurs in the initial stages, in the building and the construction stages, to get to the unicorn stage. And then the investment, is really important, but it takes time. It takes a lot of time. It takes time in education and training. The time, for people that do business schools and engineering schools, etc., they say it's possible either as an entrepreneur or to go and work for these companies to help them accelerate and bring in the skills. It takes time because we need time because of the sizes, the incubators, okay, but then you need a lot of contributions to, for support. And and once it starts up, it starts going very fast, and we have to continue investing in potential, and success brings success. And this is what we're seeing in Senegal. A few years ago, Ivory was very successful, were the roadways, and now we have a unicorn that is really on the road to growth very rapidly, and so it's going to bring in a lot in its wake as well. So the challenges in Africa are immense, and so the potential's immense. Well, that's the first point that makes me optimistic. And the second is the way that we learn. We don't learn the same way as we did 20 years ago. Just a classroom situation doesn't work anymore. Developing skills is the bet, and what better thing than entrepreneurship to bring these together? And this is why the entrepreneurship is really at the heart of our teaching methods. Thank you very much. So now for the last part of this fireside chat, as you see that the format is dynamic, spontaneous, and so now we're talking about education, Edutech, and how do we see Europe, Africa, Marseille, Abidjan. So the question is, why is it so important for you to be in Marseille today? And what type of cooperation would you see between the young Edutech startups and in Marseille and in Abidjan? Yes. Well, already collegially speaking, or in a collective situation, as we say, we have pulled together and been federated, and so we see that there's the Marseille ecosystem shares experiences, feedback, etc., and solutions that we could export here in Marseille. So, but more personally with Edutech, we tried to do capacity building with the various institutions and several different people, because with the figures we see that by 2030 we'll have 230 million young Africans that will have been trained, and so we don't have enough businesses to absorb all of these young people coming out. And so what's important is to guide them and support them in teaching and education, and we really have to improve the apprenticeship and learning process. And we need more skills and learning of skills than theory, that's for sure. We try to digitalize the training and education and try to host training programs and use more and more people. We try to have digital training centers as well set up, and these will be campus extensions that will be extending the campuses. And maybe we can have, people in Marseille training centers. We can have students from elsewhere over the long term and participate. And so the objective is by 2023 deploy 40 digital training centers that will enable the decentralizing all of this training and the whole system of training. And here there's a lot of quality, and they can really help, in training human resources. And of course, the government needs this in order to really start all of these firms as well. Yes, thank you very much. So we see that the training of the young people and the business is really important for a dynamic ecosystem. So in Abidjan, what are the jobs that you train them for in the Ivory Coast? Do you have correspondence or common culture that you teach in Marseille and that you teach in Abidjan? Well, to be very precise, Abidjan and Dakar, we do have programs that are exactly the same. A program and the curriculum is the same in Bordeaux, Paris, etc. And so you can have high school diploma plus 3 years of advanced education. It's the same diplomas. The ones that come out with a bachelor degree have exactly the same diploma in Marseille or in Bordeaux. So, but the entrepreneurship within the school system is important because, we teach agility, resilience, consistency, and this is really important in their experiences, no matter what their career path is or their educational years. So this changing environment will demand these kinds of skills, and so entrepreneurship enables the development of these skills. And so then we have specific teaching as well, programs. We have 120 incubating startups. We have incubators in Dakar and in Abidjan. So we have 15 of our startups that are accelerated. And we have some in business schools, and we'll be supporting entrepreneurs. And I have an idea, people that say, I have an idea, but I don't know how to go from my idea to the project. And so we can help them along here. And we are working on teams that were present in Dakar last week to work with BM teams to launch incubators by the beginning of 2022, and it'll be a lovely year between Kedge, Dakar, and Abidjan. Yes, 2022 could be a turning point in the relationship between Abidjan and Marseille. So we're working towards this. So just in conclusion, any take-home message for the Ivory Coast system, not necessarily with Abidjan in mind, but how about this record fundraising like Nairobi or Lagos? How can these young people in the diaspora launch this? Well, it's already the case today. As soon as someone from Senegal raises funds, of course, it automatically comes in from the Ivory Coast. So Ivory Coast is less than $7 million. But with the CV1 that has 15 businesses, there was more than 15 million euros of sales figures. And so, as I said, the Ivory Coast is a very dynamic market. And today, we are having to stabilize our market. And as I've said before, it's, some entrepreneurs don't want to leave. It's kind of like a comfort zone, and they don't want to leave it. But, as a promoter, I invite all entrepreneurs and startups from Marseille and everything to come and set up in the Ivory Coast. We've got lots happening there, a lot of giants there already. So this is what I could say. I invite them to come and set up in the Ivory Coast and work in close cooperation. And today, you can very quickly understand the ecosystem and come into contact with the excellent contact persons, and that can very easily be set up. So thank you. I mean, yes, this is what this event. This is for the soft landing in the Ivorian tech. So would you like to end, Samir? Well, yes, anyone who asks questions about Ivory Coast, go there, go to Abidjan, discover the whole ecosystem, because public investment, structuring, unions, entrepreneur unions, etc. This they know, that's all very well known, and the Ivory Coast is starting to check off one by one all of those steps. And so, of course, just investing is not enough. You have to wait until it takes its thrust and gets launched. So if you're wondering about it, go there, discover the ecosystem, and it's together, working together and in a well-balanced manner. We were talking about Ivory Coast and Senegal ecosystems, maybe not in 2022, but in 2023 it's going to take off very fast. Thank you very much. I think this was a stimulating session, lots of concrete perspectives, the vision from Marseille, the vision from the Ivory Coast, and how Abidjan and Marseille, these twin cities have been able to do and create this corridor for entrepreneurship. Thank you very much, the Kedge General Deputy Manager, I thank, and the General Secretary.
On va faire la petite. On va faire la. Et le timing est tenu.